Good evening and welcome to the Town Council Candidates Forum. My name is Joan Livingston. I'm the managing editor of the Taos News. This forum is sponsored by the Taos News, the Taos County Chamber of Commerce, and the Carson Electric Co-op, which supplies us great community space. This forum is also making history tonight because it's being live streamed over a couple of sources. And so we welcome our viewers at home. And those who subscribe to Twitter can follow along with live tweets from Andrew Oxford, our web coordinator. 7 candidates are running for 2 spots on the town council. 6 of them will be on the ballot. 1 is a write-in candidate. They are in alphabetical order: Rudy Abeyta, Judy Cantu, Darian Fernandez, Fritz Hahn, Pavel Lukes, Amy Quintana, and Cynthia Spray. So let's go over the rules of the forum. The candidates will have 2 minutes to give an intro, and at the very end, they'll have 2 minutes to do a closing statement. They will also have 2 minutes to answer each question. Now, usually the forums, we have 1 question, and by the time we get to the 3rd person, there's really not much new being offered. But what we've done is we have 4 rounds and 7 questions each. So in all, 28 questions. We can thank J.R. Logan for coming up with those. Susan Cady is from the chamber. She's our timer. She's developed a great system that will let the candidates know when their 2 minutes are up. And we ask that the candidates come to the mic so everybody can hear. It's a pretty full house tonight. So as I said, we'll ask 4 rounds of questions. The first 3 are on topics that are important to the town of Taos. And I'll be picking them randomly out of a bag. And the 4th round will be questions that are tailored to each candidate. And no one knows the questions ahead of time or the topics. And finally, to keep things rolling, we ask that you hold your applause till the very end. And we want to keep a respectful and a friendly environment here. So let's begin with the intros. And Rudy, you're up first.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. It's, as you can see, with a full room, it's very exciting. I know almost everybody in here, but for those folks that I don't know, I'm Rudy Abeyta. I'm one of your candidates for the council. I've been on the council 2 elected 4-year terms and a 1-year appointment. My platform is really, really simple. It's to continue to make the tough decisions that need to be made to move Taos forward. One example of that is the Smith's gas station. We broke the gas monopoly. We now have more affordable gas. My platform has several components. We want to continue to promote sound economic development while protecting our environment and our air and our water table. We also want to support small businesses and tourism. We want to continue to diversify the economic base, not just from tourism and skiing, but to making Taos a sports destination and making Taos an educational destination. We want to continue to provide educational benefits for everybody, and we also want to provide affordable workforce housing. Again, I've been on your town council 9 years. I've been an independent contractor in Abeyta Realty for the last 6 years, a small, locally owned business competing against the big guys, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax. I have no problem competing with them. I'm also a retired Air Force colonel. I have a master's degree in administration, so I'm highly trained. As an Air Force colonel, I lived in 10 different states. I lived in Turkey, and I have a very broad background. I was gone 25 years, and now I'm back, and I'm continuing to do what I like doing, serving you, the people, making the tough decisions to move Taos forward. I would appreciate your vote on March 4th. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, everybody. I'm really glad to see so many people here, and I'm glad that you care so much that you come out to listen to what everybody has to say. I want you to know I'm running for town council. Is for my health and because I want to make a lot of enemies. But aside from that, seriously, I did run the last time. I came in third place. I lost by 64 votes, and I know that every vote counts. And the platform that I have is economic development, or lack of it at this point. I'm very passionate about it. I've been from Taos my whole entire life, and we need jobs. I feel like our town is stagnant to dying. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out our plaza is dead, and our youth have this incredible hurdle. There's so much drugs, alcoholism, and dysfunctional families that are happening right now, and we need to figure out a way to solve it, and one of the ways is through economic development. Everybody has the right to pride, and when people are working 2 and 3 jobs, it really makes it difficult when you don't have a paycheck, you end up depressed, you end up someplace you don't want to be. And I think really working hard on economic development and not just talking about it or having an ordinance and not being proactive on it doesn't help anybody in this town. The business retention is at an all-time low. Merchants are screaming, and we have to figure out a way to change the future. I care because I give a damn. I love Taos. This is my home, and I want to see it flourish. I want to see our plaza alive. I want to see people happy and not just talking to each other about the ugliness in Taos and the terrible feeling here. And this is why I'm running. I don't have my glasses, I can't see. Thank you.
It's a little crowded on that side of the room, so excuse us if we get up a little slowly. My name is Darian Fernandez. I am the write-in candidate for Town Council, and first of all, I would like to thank the Taos News, Chamber of Commerce, and Kit Carson Electric for hosting this forum tonight. But most importantly, I'd like to thank all of you for showing up to hear what we all have to say. A lot of people are asking me why I stepped in as a write-in candidate, and the truth is, while all of the candidates here tonight have different ideas and visions for our community, I feel that there needs to be another voice of youth and the next generation of leadership represented in Taos on our council, especially as we start talking about diversifying our economy and marketing to a younger demographic. We need to have more voices of the youth of Taos, and that is part of my campaign. I'm a born and bred Taoseño. I graduated Taos High, class of 2000. I'm very proud of that. And my candidacy is really about a bridge connecting the traditions of our community to the future of our community. And it's about pride in our community. It's about issues, not personal attacks. It's about opportunity, not negativity. It's about the economy. It's about affordability. Most of all, it's about you. And my slogan is simple: Fernandez for you. Fernandez para ti. A vote for me is a vote for you, Taos. When elected, I am your employee, and this is your government. Thank you, and que viva Taos.
Good evening, and thanks for being here. As the eldest of 12, I learned at an early age to take care of my little brothers and sisters, to work hard and cooperate. I learned to take responsibility and act. As a citizen, I am new to the political arena, but have been involved for years, well over a decade, in local events. Taoseños Against the Walmart Superstore, Veterans for Peace initiatives, our acequia concerns. I have been an outspoken advocate por preservando la cultura y tradiciones. Our beloved little town's elected officials have little vision. And so, as a responsible citizen, I must take responsibility and act. It's in my blood. That's what I was taught to do. As a scrub tech in the early 80s at Holy Cross Hospital, I made minimum wage. I had to work a 40-hour week in the ER and OR and another 40 hours of call to make ends meet for my wife and little boy. I took action. I started the Technicians and Support Staff Union at Holy Cross Hospital. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And when we had an opportunity through a microloan to start the Taos Herb Company, we grew that business, working for 10 years without pay while we maintained our outside jobs. Today, the Taos Herb Company employs 19 families. We must return to the basics of local governance, returning to fiscal responsibility, refocusing on collaborating with our county. We must repair our streets and sidewalks, and we must revitalize our acequias.
Good evening. My name is Pavel Lukash, and some of you have seen me here before, and I'm running again for the position on Town of Taos Council. First, I would like to thank all of you for coming here, and I've never seen a crowd this size. This is a first. I also would like to thank the other candidates for coming here and enduring the process. I would like to acknowledge my wife, who is enduring the process, Melody. I'd like to acknowledge some of my supporters, Mayor Duran, the family of Bert Cantu. Thank you for coming. Taos is at crossroads. We have an amazing opportunity here. Many great things are happening to Taos. The Taos Ski Valley has sold. We have a national monument here. The Taos Airport is expanding. We need leadership and experience in our government, but none of the challenges are gonna be solved or pursued unless we communicate among ourselves. The biggest thing that I see is the lack of unity. We don't communicate. We create Taos friction very successfully, and we have to stop that. We need to find a way to communicate among ourselves, with others on the council, and also with Taos County. The issues and the challenges are too big for any individual to solve it on their own. So we need unity, not division. We need harmony, and we need communication. And with my experience of 9+ years on Taos Planning Commission, I bring a lot to the table because I'm aware of a lot of the issues, a lot of the planning issues. I know about the acequias. The Planning Commission has been advocating restoration of the acequias. So I can rattle off the whole list of issues, and I'm sure you'll hear about all of them tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up to our forum. I think that a lot of you know who I am. My name is Amy Quintana. I've been a resident of Taos since 1977 for the last 37 years. I've served on the Taos Council from 2008 to 2012, and I'm here before you asking for your votes to go ahead and serve again. I think that I can really make a difference in helping the county and the town come together on all the issues that divide us. We have so many issues before us. I really support what the current council has done in moving UNM into the downtown area and expanding the education opportunities for our citizens. The Echo Park that we built, the soccer fields need to be expanded. This weekend there's a big ice hockey tournament. Taos has a lot of people coming in for that, but we should put aside money and go ahead and build a year-round enclosed ice hockey rink for the kids. We have over 700 kids that play soccer. We should continue with the Echo Park and complete our soccer fields. We have economic development that we have lots of projects that need to be up and running. I currently work at Rocky Mountain Youth Corps. I've been there 7.5 years in the finance department. Rocky Mountain Youth Corps hires over 100 kids every year. We put them to work 4 days a week, and then the 5th day is a training day for them. We teach them how to balance checkbooks, how to apply for college, conflict resolution. And right now, Rocky Mountain Youth Corps is hiring, so if you know of any 18 to 25-year-olds, please send them over. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, please come see me afterwards, and I have flyers in the back. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Spray, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've done for 32 years in Taos in 2 minutes. Some people are betting I can't do that, and I might not be able to. The best thing I have done in Taos is that my son, whose name is Alex, he's 26. You can't hear me. He just graduated now. Is that better? He just graduated from UNM with a degree in planning, and he's going to get his master's this fall in planning also. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the projects I've been involved in and the work I've done, and then you'll probably have a good idea of what I believe in. If not, I'll have a chance to talk to you again at the end, I think. I have chaired the, I've chaired the Taos Project Downtown Merchants Association for the last 3 years, and I'm a businesswoman. I've had a store in Taos for 26 years downtown. I helped Jamie Tedesco start the Taos Tourism Council 5 years ago, I think. I've chaired the Historic Preservation Commission for the last 4 years, and I have a great commission. Actually, one of them's here, and one of the former ones is here. We do great work. That's a great operation. I volunteered to coach and manage the hockey team that won state 9 times in 14 years. All those banners at the rink are primarily from them. I've done the job of Arts and Culture District Coordinator for the last 4 years in the downtown. Currently, I'm the Economic Development Specialist with Taos County. And my responsibilities right now are restoring the old county courthouse downtown and working in the downtown to restore that. I consult with the Economic Development Department. Oh my God, I'm not going to get this all in. I work directly, they send me around the state to do economic development in little towns like Taos. I also work closely with the legislature getting appropriations for Taos. And I'll finish this story later. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to rotate who goes first. So Judy, you're going to be the first one in this round, okay? So the first round of questions will be on the economy, and I'm just going to pull something out of here. And beyond tourism and retail, how do we grow other industries in Taos? And I'm going to leave this here for you to refresh your memory, okay?
What a winter, huh? Maybe we'll get some snow tonight, because we sure do need that. Okay. My platform has a lot to do with economic development, what I feel. It could be community development. Nonetheless, it's something we desperately need, and I don't feel like we should fall on tourism or skiing as a way of keeping Taos going, because the times have changed. The big boom of the 1980s is over. I feel like we could really, really build on a recycling program here in Taos. And this is something I spoke about the last time I run, and I truly believe in it. There is a company I've been following who I'd love to meet with, and it's a tip of the iceberg, but it's somewhere to start. It's called Recology. I've spoken to people about it often. It's a way of keeping our landfill less filled and putting people to work. It also includes the free box and just putting people back to work to give them that pride that I was talking about just a little while ago, because everybody needs that pride of a paycheck and being able to put food on their table. The other thing that I truly believe in, and there's a wonderful group here in Taos called Renewable Taos, who's working on solar energy, and that's an area where in New Mexico, the land of the sun, only 2% of New Mexicans are utilizing this. That's a really small percentage. And it's something that we could proactively be looking into here in Taos. We can employ our Taoseños and start there. It's the beginning. 2 minutes. Goes fast.
Okay, Darian, this one is for you. Darian. Darian. No, Darren's in the audience. Okay. What can the town do to promote Taos's reputation as an art colony?
Well, obviously, if you're a gallery owner or an artist, you know that the arts have taken a hit for years in Taos. So I think it requires, not just intervention from the government, but really the town sitting down with gallery owners and artists and figuring out how we can make this community more inviting for one. Let's get rid of the parking meters downtown, or let's make them voluntary, and let's let nonprofit organizations adopt a meter and raise and get the revenue from that. Let's bring more people back into the downtown area. Business owners, think about what you're selling. And especially as we start marketing towards a younger demographic, let's start thinking about marketing products that are a bit more affordable to people that are making $30,000, $40,000 a year versus your $90,000, $100,000 a year typical tourist in Taos. And then artists, let's think about what we can do together to market the town, and let's all sit down with Joni Griffin at Griffin Associates and come up with a solid marketing plan for marketing the downtown area, marketing the artists online, especially with Google and search engine optimization, because that's where it really is at, not just Facebook. But let's begin that process, and furthermore, let's as part of this revitalization of the downtown, let's turn part of the old county courthouse into not just a business incubator, but an art and creative business incubator. So if you're a graphic designer, a painter, you have an affordable place with high-speed internet access, and you can market your products to the world. And it's going to take everyone coming together, sitting down, and coming up with a solid marketing plan.
Okay, Fritz, how would you change the town's $500,000 marketing effort to attract more visitors to Taos?
Well, I was at a town council meeting Tuesday night, and I think they're getting ready to pump even more money into that. But as I stated at the beginning, we've got to return to basics. And those basics include repairing our streets. Let me just check that question out again. Make sure I'm on there. Yeah. Marketing effort, right. So what good does it do with the $500,000 to have a fabulous family come up from Dallas only upon getting here to have their tires realigned at one of our 3 tire stores? What kind of lasting impression does that leave? So repairing our streets is essential. I would like to state that the revised land use development plan and master plan, which the mayor and council shelved, is a key economic driver. It's a beautiful plan. Currently, we have no master planner in planning and zoning. So as we move forward thinking about streets and repairs, it's essential that we think about the master plan and what happened to it and where is it? When's it coming back? We need to collaborate, obviously, with our county. Well over $1 million has been squandered because of a lack of collaboration. I think it's about basics. And so I'd just like to focus on having a quality-looking town with citizens who take pride, and I think that will bleed over to our visitors. Thanks.
Okay, Pavel. Should the town invest millions more in expanding the Taos Eco Park, or should it leave the complex with just one soccer field?
Let me make a disclaimer. None of us sitting here have all the answers, okay? A lot of us will have to get educated on every issue. And I'm not sure if we, of course we would like to have more soccer fields. Let me just say that I came here it's going to be 20 years, and so there was no soccer in Taos. It was Jake Mossman, myself, Tom French, and bunch of little hoodlums with no uniforms that we ran at Baca Park, Par Field, no equipment, and that's how Taos soccer was born. It has gone on an amazing journey where we got today. I'm just blown away when I see the people, the kids, and the crowds coming to our soccer. I think it has to be prioritized. I don't know in the order of priorities, and there are a lot of priorities on the table where the soccer fields will land. If anything, soccer is my game. I grew up with soccer. I came from Europe, and soccer is my game. I am an advocate of soccer, and if there is money for it, absolutely. Let's create more soccer fields and bring tournaments to Taos, which will bring money to Taos, and that's what we're talking about, economic growth. It's not about buying local. It's about bringing outside money into Taos by exporting our goods, our soccer fields, our venues, our artwork. That's what brings money to Taos. That's economic growth. That's jobs. And that's what we need to do. Where it lands on the priority list, the soccer fields, I don't know. But I will know soon.
Okay, Amy. Is the expansion of the Taos Regional Airport important for economic development? Please explain. That's your question, yes.
We could have traded, but that's my question also. When I moved to Taos in 1977, my husband was hired as the Taos airport manager. We lived out there 24/7 for 3 years. We landed all the planes. I was taught how to run the radio, how to call the planes in and let them know what the winds were, which runway to use. We only have 2 runways right now, 04 and 22 on the degrees. And when we had strong crosswind runways, who was it? Dr. Moore and his wife were landing a small Cessna. The wind picked them up and flipped their plane over, that they landed on the other side of the, at that time it was a barbed wire fence, on the dump side. And they landed perfectly, but we were able to go ahead and take the Unimog over to the dump site and tow the plane back over. And it was fine, it really was. I mean, it was a miracle that they didn't damage the plane, they didn't hurt themselves. But it's very dangerous here in Taos. If the winds are blowing crossways, you have to either not fly into Taos, or you have to take your chances. And it's for safety that we really need the runway. We're never gonna land 747s. We're never gonna land giant planes. We're not gonna turn into Albuquerque. It's all for safety. We need a longer runway, especially in the summertime when the air is thin. The planes need longer runways to take off. So, boy, I guess I said most of it right now. So, yes, I totally support the expansion of the Taos crosswind runway and all of the traffic that hopefully that it'll bring. Right now, a lot of our traffic is detoured down to Santa Fe. Some of them will go over to Angel Fire and land. The safety factor alone is something that we really need to look at for our local pilots and for anybody that lands here. Thank you.
Okay, Cynthia? What would you do to improve the look and feel of downtown so it is more attractive to both visitors and locals? And how would you pay for those improvements?
All right. The first part was what would I do to improve the look and feel of the downtown? I would, as I have done for the last 4 years, I would talk to the community. It's not working. Sorry. I hate to lean over like that.
You don't have to.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks. I'm not used to this. I'm not a politician. I'm not used to this yet. The community, I've done nothing for the last 4 years but talk to people downtown and all throughout the county about what they'd like to see happening downtown to make it more vibrant and have the community actually show up downtown. And there are lots and lots of answers to that have come from the community, which is where they should come from. I would say right away, we need to have the plaza have less hardscape, regreen it a little bit, and I know that water's an issue, but do it in a way that's smart. The seating, the stuff downtown, there's not events downtown that bring people except maybe a couple nights a week. There's a lot that can be done. That's a wonderful little place. One of the reasons that I took the job in the Arts and Culture District is because in my shop, I got so tired of people saying, this town's dead. Does this town not care about itself? Nothing's happening. And I just got really tired after 26 years of hearing that kind of comment. How we would pay for the improvements, I have for 20 years at least advocated for a sustainable funding source for the downtown. Traditionally in the past, 60% of GRT for the town came out of the historic district. Nowhere near that now. And I have thought for a long time that you should take care of something, significantly take care of that if it's going to produce that much GRT for you. So I have advocated for at least 20 years for a sustainable funding source for improving the downtown and all the stuff that it needs, sidewalks, drainage, sewers, so on. I have not ever gotten my way on that, but I'm going to continue asking for that because I think that it needs to happen. It's way overdue. It'll help the merchants, it'll help the tourists, it'll help the community, and I did it. Thank you.
Okay, I swear this is not rigged. Rudy, should the town change its zoning to allow big box stores to come to Taos?
That's an easy one. The answer is definitely not. Two things have happened. With the advent of the internet and technology the way it's going, a lot of us are now shopping online. Amazon, whoever you may be. Number two, with the worst economic declines since the Great Depression, wiping out many people's lifetime savings, what's happening now in global America is stores are going to smaller boxes and smaller boxes and smaller boxes. So to take the 80,000 square foot land use development code that has not been shelved, isn't enforced, would be ridiculous to move it up. But how about the idea of moving it downward, folks, to 60,000, to 50,000, to 40,000, to protect local businesses in Taos? I am a Beta Realty for 6 years, and as I said a while ago, I compete with Century 21, I compete with everybody, it's not a problem, but we don't need big boxes here. What we need to do is we need to diversify so that we have a good hybrid mix of local mom and pop businesses with a few small little boxes like Subway owned by Kent Lewis, Baskin Robbins, so that we keep our taxpayer dollars here and spend them here, and we don't drive to Española, Santa Fe, or Albuquerque and hit Sam's and Costco and TJ Maxx and the mall. Remember, folks, we make this community. We need to have access to retail, access to medical, access to education right here so that we keep our dollars here. So it is ironic that I got the big box question, but the answer is definitely very simple. Keep it local, keep the boxes small, do not change the land use development code. Thank you.
I'm curious, Jonah and Channel 22 and Andrew, how many people are watching at home?
Just over 50.
Yeah.
And Jonah?
Just over 50.
Over 50? What about Channel 22?
We have a few, not too many.
Okay.
I don't have a specific number.
Okay. Andrew, you can you tell or no? Okay. All right. Well, this, or if there's 2 people in a house, then, you know. Okay. So we will start with you, Darian, on this next one. This round. Should the town push annexation of surrounding communities like El Prado and Cañon to bring in new revenues?
Short answer, no. I think if a community wants to be annexed, you know, and I think if we're seriously interested about annexing a particular area outside of the current limits, you know, we need to sit down with the residents in that area because in addition to the revenues, there are a whole host of other issues that come with the annexation process. And you know, for example, a lot of people in those areas are on wells or other community water systems. And what's going to happen when the town comes in and requires each person to pay $3,000 to $5,000 for a connection? How many of us can really afford that? So that's something that we need to sit down and talk about. We can't just, you know, annex a property, annex an area for their revenue, and then, you know, ask those residents to foot the cost of the annexation when we're already taking their revenues. I think it's completely unfair. I know many people in here would also agree, but, you know, and we can't just continue to annex our way into more revenue to begin with, though. I mean, where are we going to stop? At the Colorado border? At the Rio Arriba County line? I mean, ultimately, you know, we need to bring in new revenues by creating new jobs, and this Kit Carson fiber optic line that so many people in Taos have been pushing is a very strong step forward. And I say, you know, before we spread out our physical boundaries, you know, let's push the electronic boundaries a bit and really, you know, milk this fiber optic line for all it's worth and create jobs that, you know, are going to bring in revenues without us having to ask more people in the community to pay $3,000 to $5,000 to hook up a sewer system. Thank you.
So this round is for capital improvements and finances. So the next question, and this will be for you, Fritz. Was doubling the parking meter rates and fines a good idea? Why or why not?
It's not. End of story. I was at the Merchants Association meeting in the Historic District this morning, and Mr. Rodriguez was there, grateful for his attendance. I was a little disappointed there was no one from the county there because the Historic District also includes county concerns. The consensus, the early consensus seems to be let's lengthen the time and do a couple dollars for 4 hours. I encourage the committee to seriously think about my proposal, which is free parking, no parking meters. What concerned me at this meeting was a little bit of kind of the way our town behaves. The meters have already been bought. The decision's already been made. I have a problem with that. As a citizen candidate, I think we've got, yet again, the cart before the horse. First, consult, collaborate. I'm a social worker. That's what I do. So the consensus this morning was for extended hours. I was talking to an art retailer the other day, and down in the plaza, he lost a $1,500 sale because someone had to feed the meter. This is penny wise and dollar foolish. Our town needs to look at this. A $1,500 sale on GRTs. You guys can do the math. I'm really nervous, so I can't right now. But let's just say it's $100. we just exchanged $100 in GRTs for $2. What kind of economic sense does that make when we talk about parking? Thank you.
Okay, Pavel. Well, you'll like this one. How should the town pay for the expansion of the Taos Regional Airport?
I think we need to call Mr. Bacon. After all, there'll be a lot of skiers coming to his establishment. And, you know, partly it's a joke, but partly it's not. Because I think maybe the town ought to engage in a dialogue with Mr. Bacon, because there is definitely tangible benefit to be derived for Taos Ski Valley and all of his operations. Because I can foresee that with the expanded airport, there will be ski shuttles during the ski season coming from hubs, bringing loads of skiers that are going to feed Ski Valley with their dollars. Other than that, you know, there are probably several ways how we can come up with the matching funds for the airport. I know the town is pursuing the annexation of El Prado, which is as popular as George Bush, but in these parts anyway. But, you know, there might be some other ways. We can even make the airport area completely independent as a regional airport authority with its own tax base that will pay for itself. So there are more than one solutions to this. And again, here we got to go and talk with the county. I think this is a definition of insanity, trying to solve common problems individually and not collectively, because personality conflicts or whatnot. No, I think the regional airport is to great benefit to the county. We need to sit down with them and work out an equitable plan where the county contributes and the town contributes and Mr. Bacon contributes. What a great harmony.
Okay, Amy. Should town employees receive a raise this year? Why or why not?
Thank you, Joan. Yes, the town of Taos employees should receive a raise this year. They should have received a raise every year since we did the pay and classification 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 2009 when we started on the plan, and it was completed in either 2009 or 2010. That's the last raise that the town of Taos employees have had for cost of living. And every employee at the town of Taos works their heart out for all of the constituents. They take pride in their work, they take pride in their jobs, and they do a great job for the town of Taos, for all of us. They are what makes the town run. You know, we need, as elected officials, we need to appreciate what the wheels that make the town turn. We've got our bus drivers, we've got the gals that collect all of the utility bills. We've got the guys that go out and paint the stripes on the roads. We've got the people that pick up the trash in the parks. We've got the people that keep the plaza beautiful, that keep our parks beautiful, our trails, and I appreciate all of them. They are the heart of Taos, and they deserve their raises. Thank you.
Okay, Cynthia. Identify a specific part of the town budget where money is being wasted and discuss where it could be more wisely spent.
Oh, where do I begin? That's actually one of the reasons why I threw my name into this group. there are a lot of ways. I had an office in Town Hall for the last 4 years, and I saw lots of ways that I thought things could be more efficiently run. I think that the command center fiasco has been a problem for all of us, probably a more expensive problem than a lot of us know. I think the annexation problem is costing taxpayers a lot of money that didn't need to be spent on that. I think that typically what I've seen in the past is the town ends up building things like the convention center and the Echo Park, and then they don't have planned into their budget ways to maintain it. So those projects sort of fall by the wayside, which makes them a waste if they aren't being able to be used in the way that they were built to be used. That's just off the top of my head. I think that morale at Town Hall creates a great degree, a lesser degree of productivity than you'd like to see. The people at Town Hall that work there, the staff level, are great people. But in my view, another reason that I decided to do this or try for this is because they are not happy, and not happy workers make not productive workers, and it ends up being financially a problem. You asked this question. I was never going to get into any of those things. But there are lots of ways that, I mean, any business or any government has ways that they can run more efficiently, and I definitely think the town's one of them. I don't know what else I can say without getting in serious trouble. I think I've already overstepped a little bit. I'd be happy anytime to answer any more questions later on if y'all want to ask more what you think. I'm out of time. Bye. Thank you for the bell.
Okay, Rudy. Where can the town find additional money to fund the public library?
The public library is one of the extracurricular services that the town of Taos provides. We spend approximately $1.2 million a year doing that. What we got to do is we got to collaborate with the county, and we need the county to start stepping to the plate and participating in the financing of the library. We tried a $10 a year fee for county residents. We, the council, approved it. I take responsibility for that. That $10 fee was not working. I picked up the phone, I called the mayor and say, Mayor, put it on the agenda and let's get rid of it. That's really not gonna work. We can't have an us versus them. We can't treat county residents different than town residents. As your elected official, I represent each and every one of you. Whether you live in the county or you live in the town, every decision that we make as a governing body has a cascading effect through the entire Taos Valley. So we have to collaborate. Funding at the library has not been cut. Funding at the library is not going to be cut. But please, all of you constituents, please encourage your county commission to start paying their fair share, and please willfully motivate them to join the town in funding that library so that we can take it to the next level, so that we can expand it, so that we can provide even more services. But it takes a community to make a community, and Taos is the most diverse place I've ever lived in. And diversity is beautiful, but when it comes to public policy making, how do you get consensus? We're so diverse. We make Taos. The glass is half full. It's not half empty, as Mr. Northrup would point out. It's half full. Let's look at the positive energy where we can all come together and fund this library. Thank you.
And Judy? Should the town beef up its own planning department or create a joint department with the county?
Well, I really think that there has to be a collaborative effort between the town and the county to work together, as we're all Taoseños. From what I've seen over the last few years, the planning and zoning department has literally all but disappeared. Right now there's only Dinah and Martha working in the planning and zoning department. we lost a lot of good people who have left, who were very excellent people. Matt Foster, Rudy Perea, David Martinez, Rachel Romero. We all need to work together as one because our goal is working for the Taoseños. And it's really important to collaborate together, the county and the town. I like to kind of think of the morality, I'm getting the wrong word, excuse me. The employees are leaving kind of like a sinking ship, kind of like the Titanic. Everybody's bailing for a lifeboat. And things just aren't good. Everybody in town reads the papers. Everybody has former friends that worked at the town of Taos. We have friends at the county. And it's really important for everybody to work together. This is a win-win situation. And that's the direction I feel. We need to work together. And maybe there's, excuse me, men, too much testosterone and machismo there. But, you know, I think women on the council is something that we really need to have. And that would be me, of course. Thank you.
Okay, the next round is going to be about public health, safety, and welfare. And we'll start with you, Fritz. Take the top one. What roads in the town are in the most dire need of work?
I live in the poor part of town. I live in the Barrio Cruz Alta. Our gang is north side. Right? I was out in the Cruz Alta housing project area a couple weeks ago. And little dude, the son of single mom with 2 kids, was out on his bike that he had gotten for Christmas. And he was riding in the street because there was no sidewalk. And he was looking up at our turquoise blue skies. And as he was looking up, he fell into a pothole that was like this. And his bike slammed up against the end of that pothole. He did a complete 360. He came down on his head. And then the bike came down on top of him. Wow. Certain neighborhoods in our community get preferential treatment. Not mine. Not the Barrio Cruz Alta. Everywhere I go, the viejitos say, it's so simple. Fix what we got. I asked the town for a copy of their repair schedule, and I received it. I was very grateful. What I'm unaware of is how our leaders prioritize. The problem is not with our road department or our infrastructure department. The problem is with our governance. Thank you.
Okay, Pavel. How can the town improve its recycling program to reduce the amount of trash going into the landfill?
First, I think education of the masses, and especially our young people, would help. I think there is in process right now at the town hall talk about curbside recycling, where we would have different color bins for different materials, and waste management would take them to their collection points and do their recycling there. And I think ultimately that ought to be the goal of the town, is to come up with curbside recycling, because I don't know, I probably make 3 trips to our recycling center a week. And you know, you just start wondering, you know, am I creating a larger carbon footprint by driving there? Do I shut off the car or don't I shut off the car while I'm unloading the recyclables? But there you go. Then we would have some organic material around along the way, which would be great. So I think curbside recycling is the answer, because then everybody has to get rid of their trash, and it would be right there. Nobody has to drive anywhere, because I would hate to guess what percentage of people actually uses our recycling center as we speak. I would probably guess maybe 40%, if that. And so you wonder where the rest of it goes. As the landfills, probably the arroyos and right-of-ways and everywhere else. So recycling, curbside recycling, let's make it happen. And those should be one of the goals of the town. And just as in my business, when I set out to do something, I do my best. I roll up my sleeves and get it done. So if this is one of those tasks, it will get done, I promise you.
Okay, Amy, should the town raise the minimum wage?
Thank you. I do not believe that the town of Taos should raise the minimum wage or should put any restrictions on any business and tell you how to run your business, how to pay your employees, because right now most businesses pay more than the minimum wage. In the nation, it's only 1% of the people who are working who are actually paid minimum wage. They may have started in a minimum wage job, but after 3 months, 6 months, or a year, you receive raises for cost of living or for doing a great job. As you start, if you started in a minimum wage job, you're there to learn. You're there to, you're starting at the bottom. You're there to work your way up. As you learn, your wages will increase. I do not believe that the town of Taos should ever put any restrictions on any businesses at all. Thank you.
Okay, we had a request that people speak closer to the microphone and speak up so everybody can hear, and also it's hard for them to record, to do the live stream at home, so just pretend you're, anyway, okay. Okay, well, no, you said it's everybody. Not every day everyone speaks in a microphone, so. Okay, Cynthia, what can the town do to promote affordable housing in Taos?
The short answer is make it a priority. We've been trying, the Arts and Culture District, for whom I've been working, has been trying for the last 4 years to create affordable artist-based housing. I know everybody needs housing, not just artists. We've been trying for 4 years to do that. Part of the problem is that it's hard to get stuff done in this town unless it is something that the governing bodies are really involved in and interested in. I know that we did a study for Art Spaces in the program. We had more respondents than they had in Denver. We had like 300 here and they had 60 in Denver, and they found that we could easily afford to have I think it was 60 live-work units with retail space downstairs for artists in the downtown, which would create density and more interesting things happening downtown. It fell flat at the council level, and workforce housing is like a huge deal. We need, I mean, there's no way we're going to get out of this economic problem that we're in without having some new kind of jobs, new sectors of jobs brought in. There all been many people to work here who can afford to live here. It's a huge problem. It needs to be addressed head on. People need to really, that's what people should be talking about right now, not all these issues are important, but everybody should sit down together. And we heard that working together thing earlier tonight. That whole county, town, acrimony, everything, it's just not serving anybody anymore. And that's another reason I'm standing up here, is I would hope to improve that situation. There's a lot of ways that you can do affordable housing. In the planning department, there's been about 5 ideas for affordable housing in the last 4 years, and they just are not happening yet. So we all need to make that a priority, I guess. Best way to say that. I'm running out of time. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Rudy, I know you have a big booming voice, so.
You call me a blabbermouth?
No, I didn't say blabbermouth. Okay, how do we fix Taos's ongoing traffic problem and improve pedestrian mobility?
Thank you, Joan. Do we have a traffic problem in Taos? Absolutely, yes. Is the traffic problem in Taos like LA, Chicago, other big cities? Of course not. So traffic is relative based on what you're used to seeing, whether you live here, you've been here all your life, or whatever the case. For numerous years, New Mexico DOT tried to get a bypass in Taos. And because tremendous outcry from the community, there is not going to be a bypass in Taos. It's not going to happen. So what do you do in lieu of the bypass? You make sure that your main artery is good, and then you start developing your side streets. And that's exactly what the town of Taos is doing. Chamisa Road, Salazar Extension, Morgan Road, SDS Road was annexed. For years we had an agreement with El Valle de los Ranchos that was the natural demarcation for the flow of sewer. We annexed there, but before we annexed, we added the water, we added the sewer, and then we added the pavement. What a beautiful road. You no longer need a Humvee to go up that road. Talk about providing infrastructure before. So there's an example. Roundabouts. Those roundabouts were traffic calming devices, and they work. And if you had a loved one that died on Gustorf and Paseo de Cañon East, you would be grateful for those roundabouts. If you have children that go to Taos Municipal School and have to get out of there, those roundabouts work. Developed. The roads in the town that are being developed are arteries to give you alternative routes. There will not be a bypass, plain and simple, but we can develop all the side streets. So that's the bottom line on the roads. It's working, potholes are being fixed. If you see a pothole fixed, please call it in, we'll fix it the same day. Thank you. Right away, Judy said.
Okay, Judy. Should the town continue to operate dispatch at the Kit Carson building, or should it move to the county's new facility once it's operational?
I think this is the red flag that we've all been paying close attention to for how many years now? Everything has been dug up on this, and the move was very costly, very costly. I believe just recently in the Taos News it was quoted from Oscar Rodriguez that it would cost $343,000, that the town couldn't afford it. The relationships between the citizens of Taos and the town are very strained because people have just lost their faith. It's very costly. It wasn't necessary. There's a lot to say on this. The police department, when they moved to the newly remodeled town building, should have had a lot of the system created in there before they even moved. The 911 could have stayed at the old building and expanded, or we could have flipped them over. 911 could have gone to the town hall instead with the equipment that they needed. The asbestos, it wasn't broken till the town broke it. The amount of asbestos was very minute, and this is a decision that really should have gone to the vote of the people. It's whatever money, whether grant money that they get, it's the people's money, no matter who it came from, unless it's a foundation or a loan. I don't think it was a good move. I think they need to collaborate more on this. And my time is up.
This is a question that Chief Weaver will enjoy. How can the Taos Police Department attract and hold on to qualified officers? And that would be yours,
Well, first off, I admit this answer is going to be a little bit biased because my car was stolen for 5 days in November, and through the courageous work of the Taos Police Department and other local law enforcement agencies, it was found 5 days later in a field off the Rim Road in Saco. So, you know, we already have very strong officers. Obviously, if my car gets stolen again, I want those same officers on my case again. You know, and I think that our law enforcement needs a raise. I think, you know, if we can find money in our budget for lawsuits, and we can find money in our budget for annexation battles, you know, we can find money in our budget to give our law enforcement officers a raise. Let's make our police officers competitive with our police officer rates competitive with those in Santa Fe, with those in our larger cities, so we can not only retain the very fine officers that we have, but continue to recruit more officers. So yes, absolutely. Our police officers need a raise, they need benefits, they need, you know, if we can provide additional housing assistance for more officers, that will help. And it goes back to the affordability of Taos. Sure, we have a beautiful community, but sometimes it can be too unaffordable, even for, you know, the people who we really need, the public servants. So, you know, let's look at housing options for our officers. Let's find the money wherever we can. I mean, even if we have to go from, you know, having a 50-day or 60-day balance of funds down to a 40-day balance, as long as we can find money in our budget, the money's there for us to be able to give our officers the raise that they deserve. And the same thing goes for our firefighters. Thank you all very much for your hard work, and that's my answer.
Yeah. Okay, this round of questions are tailored specifically for each candidate. I will start with you, Pavel. After running unsuccessfully for council 3 times already, why do you think you have a chance of being elected this year?
Rub it in. Abraham Lincoln ran 8 times unsuccessfully. He also had 2 failed businesses and 1 nervous breakdown. I ran unsuccessfully 3 times, and I'm having a nervous breakdown. Where are the first responders when we need them? I think people have gotten to know me better, and I think I have. This is the place where I've lived the longest. I grew up in Czechoslovakia and under communism, left when I was 19 for a visit to the United States. It was lucky enough with my brother. Fate had it that the same time I landed in New York, the Russians landed in Prague, my hometown. So my visit in the summer of '68 became an endless summer, and now you're stuck with me. I have over 9 years on the Planning and Zoning Commission at the town of Taos. I'm very familiar with the town's issues. I have made great contribution, I think, over the 9 years and 3 or 4 years on the Historical Preservation Commission. Some of my ideas have recently actually became law as part of the land use ordinance. Ideas that make things easier for for the citizens of Taos. I wish I could answer some of the questions the other candidate had, because I think I have answers for those that you don't want, or that's tougher. I think we need to agree to disagree among ourselves, because I think this disagreement is actually a great thing, because what will result is the best idea of a collaborative effort. We don't have that. I think the Planning and Zoning Commission is an example, and there's one member here, where collaborative ideas always win, and it's always for the benefit of the whole community. And that's what I bring to the table. Thank you.
Amy, do you believe your failed re-election bid in 2012 was a sign from voters they were dissatisfied with your previous actions on the council?
No, Joan, I do not. I think that what I did was I didn't knock on enough doors. I did not ask enough people personally to look at me, look at what I'm running for, look at what I stand for, look at what I'm doing. I have flyers in the back. I invite everybody to please take a look at them. Please read them. You know, when I was on the council, I was your servant. I was there to listen to you, to go ahead and act on your behalf. I attended as many meetings as I could to try to get the feel of the community on all the issues, and I feel like I did a good job. I am hoping this year that I reach every single one of you in all of your homes. I'm out doing a door-to-door campaign. I'm available by email, by cell phone, or stop by Rocky Mountain Youth and see me. If you have any issues, please let me know what they are, and let's work together. Taos, my heart and my home is here in Taos, along with you. We strive to make Taos a better place for all of us and for all of our family members. I hope that I can earn your vote this time around, and I'll be knocking on your door soon. Thank you.
I didn't say they were going to be easy questions. Okay, Cynthia, as someone who moved to town only to run in this election, and who likely won't stay if she loses, how can voters be sure of your commitment to the town and town government?
Not a surprising question. I did move to town because that's the law. I actually considered that a big sacrifice because I love my home. I have a home in Upper Colonias that I've lived in for a long time. But in order to be able to run for council, I had to get a place to live in town, and it will be a whole new experience. I'm happy to try it. It's probably going to be a lot easier to get to work on time, and there's a lot of advantages to it. I don't think, for me personally, it doesn't indicate a lack of determination. As I said, it was one of the two things that I thought of real seriously, long and hard before I put my name in here. One was that, and the other is that I'm not a politician, and I don't want to become like a regular politician. I want to stay who I am. So I thought really long and hard about both of those things. It was just something I had to do. It's a sacrifice I was willing to do to be able to do this job. I think that I have enough to offer that it made it worthwhile doing. I actually have already enjoyed being in town some because, as I said, everything I do is downtown, so I can walk to work from there, and it's just a new experience. It's fine. It's good. I got over the part of it that was scary because I do, as I said, I love my home. I raised my kids in my home, and it's definitely home. And now I can go there on the weekends, and it's working out fine. Do you want to know more? Do you want to grill me more on that? I'm pretty good with it. It's pretty nice to be able to walk to work. Well, I have 16 more seconds. I'm making some new friends. There's new neighbors to make friends with, and one of them is Max Gomez, who was on my hockey team, and he sings to me at my new house. There's some advantages already to that. It's all working out, and I really am glad you asked that because I know people were wondering about that.
This round of questions, we chose questions that people probably really want to ask the council candidates. Okay, Rudy. How do you respond to critics who say you only serve to carry out Mayor Cordova's policy agenda?
That's a good question. For those who don't know, I'm a triplet. One of my twins is older, Alex Abeta, and Derek Cordova's my other. Can you see that? But on a serious note, folks, when you have elected officials in office making common sense decisions on your behalf for the betterment of the entire community, many times the government body is going to be in harmony, and 9 out of 10 times you're going to agree. Are there times that we don't agree? Absolutely yes. I first met Darren Cordova when the big box issue came up, almost 11 years ago. I was for the big box, he was not. That's how Darren Cordova and I met. Later, in public policy making, the mayor and I have disagreed numerous times. A couple of examples. The plastic bag ordinance. I voted yes to implement plastic bag ordinance. I believe Councilmember Sanchez voted yes. Two other councilors voted no. The mayor broke the tie and disconnected from my hip and said no. So folks, if you look at the issues and you study it, Darren and I are not connected at the hip. Now, are we personal friends? Of course we are. But I formally endorse Mayor Cordova for mayor because he's got the proven results. He's networked with the governor. He's networked with the state. He is the best qualified person. It's not because we're buddies. It's because he's the best qualified person. I always base any decision I make on what is best for the entire community. Not what Darren Cordova wants, not what Margaret Abeta, my wife, wants, not what my daughter Jennifer Abeta wants, not what my brother Alex Abeta wants. It's about what's good for you.
Hey, Judy. You call the current administration incompetent incumbents on your Facebook page. If you were elected to the council and Darren Cordova and Rudy Abeta were reelected, would you be able to work with them?
I would be able to work with the incumbents if they were reelected, because this is all a learning process. I'm here because I'm passionate about Taos. I was born and raised here. My family goes back a long ways. And what I do is, I'm doing this because I love Taos and I want to see Taos prosper. And I'm going to put everything aside and work with the people I need to work with. And I guess in that process, I'll get to know them, and they'll get to know me. And I have a lot of ideas that I want to bring forward. And it's something that we're going to have to communicate about and see each other's views. And they'll see mine, and we can argue back and forth. But I think professionalism is something that you need to bring in when you're running for a position such as this. And I think that we would get along just fine. And there's a lot of bad decisions I feel have been being made. I do go to the meetings, I do pay attention, and there's a lot of decisions that have been made, that, especially the command center, that I don't agree with. But I have an open mind, and I'm easy to work with. I like listening to the citizens as well, and it's something we can get past, not a problem. And it'll be fine. That's how I feel.
Darian, what makes you a better candidate than someone with more political experience in Taos?
Well, I think that question answers itself. But seriously, folks, I come to the table with a different worldview, different ideas, a youthful energy, and a determination to work for you and get things done for everyone in our community. And as I've said before, and I've said, and I'll say again, and I'll say again to you when I'm knocking on your door in these upcoming weeks, I'm running a positive campaign focused on issues, not personal attacks. I'm running a campaign that's focused on opportunity, not negativity. Are there some things that the town could be doing better? Yes. Are there some things that the county could be doing better? Yes. So let's focus on what we can be doing better, and let's take a positive approach and a positive attitude and work together and get things done. That's all I have to say on that one. Thank you.
Okay, Fritz. Some critics have said you and your supporters have been running a campaign of negativity. How do you respond to that criticism?
Thanks, Joan. I'm glad to hear about that. I'm unaware of it. We have been pretty vociferously attacked at a local radio station, as some of you may know. And in our weekly core meeting, discussed the appropriate way to respond to this. And it's very simple. Respond with solutions, not problems. Affect positiveness, not negativity. And so I don't believe there's one person in our campaign, and it is a citizens' campaign. It's not mine, it's ours. It's a collection of very unique individuals. And we have all decided and formally chosen to take the positive high road. So I dispute that assertion. Now, does that mean that I can't ask tough questions of the mayor or the council? In fact, Rudy Abeta and I were pounding signs in last Sunday over by Jean's house, and together we were waving to the cars going by. It was great, showing a spirit of unity. As many of you know, Rudy and I have been on opposite sides of many, many, many arguments in our community, many discussions. And as I was telling his beautiful wife and daughter tonight, it's about us trying to represent the people in the best, most honest way that we can. So I dispute that assertion. I feel that that may be part of the continuing spin from this unique radio station. And our group will continue to respond in a positive manner. Thank you.
Now we'll have closing statements, and we'll begin with Amy Quintana, and then we'll just continue just moving along and Cynthia will be next. Okay?
Thank you so much. When we're done here, I am driving down to Albuquerque and spending the night there. I have an early morning flight to go to my grandmother's 99th birthday party. And so I'm spending the weekend over there. She still lives alone, cooks, cleans, and drives. My son says, "That's nothing, Mom." She still knows who I am. So I'm working hard. I'm a hard worker. I'm honest. I'm loyal. And, you know, I'll represent you to the bone. I humbly ask you for your vote. Get out there and vote. Our voting is only 20% of the registered voters ever get out to any of our elections. And I really want to make sure that all the Taosanians get out and vote. Vote your heart, vote in new candidates, and hopefully vote for me. Thank you.
I had one more thought on that where I live question. And that is that I've had a business in the actually I've worked downtown for 32 years, and many business people ask me to do this because lots of them feel that they don't get representation. There's one right there. Don't get representation on the council, and they want local downtown business to have representation on the council. So that was another reason that I decided to do that and move. The other thing is, we talked about a lot of issues tonight, and issues are important, specific to right now. But I think actually the question here is I think this election is about something much bigger than all these issues that we talked about tonight. I think it's about a change. This election to me means looking for people with character, leadership, vision, a difference in all the acrimony that we all, I think most of us are pretty tired of the acrimony and the town and the county thing, and us not looking immediately at regional solutions in this economy. That has to happen right away. It should have been happening. We should have been talking about that the minute the bottom fell out of the economy. It also, the consolidation of services that would be possible if we all got along better would save everybody money. I think that that's one reason why everybody keeps saying get some women on there, because women usually don't have those same kind of problems. They usually cut to the chase and get the job done, and you know what I'm talking about, Casey. And not so worried about the personality stuff, but more worried about the bottom line solution that is going to be the most fiscally responsible. So I am anxious to try and pull that thing around, and I too will be able to and happy to work with anybody if I end up on that council. I love challenges, and that will be one of them. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you guys and with all your questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. It shows that you care about the community that you live in, about the most beautiful community in the whole wide world, Taos. And if you don't know that, travel elsewhere, travel to a third world country like I did to Turkey, and then come back, and we are in paradise. Let's work together, let's roll up our sleeves, and let's move Taos forward. The town of Taos over the last 4 years has collaborated beautifully with UNM-Taos, with Taos Municipal Schools for the Echo Park. I mean, we collaborated with our brothers and sisters from the Taos Pueblo, where the Abecto water rights settlement and the airport crossing runway had been a contentious issue for over 30 years. Talk about major accomplishments. Unfortunately, with the county, Commissioner Baroni, we haven't had the same success rate. I believe that you and Tom Blankenhorn have the best interest of the town and the valley, but I believe that some other commissioners do not. But this is probably the most controversial issue in the community. Let's solve this dispatch center issue. We need one consolidated dispatch center. We don't need the town to have one. We don't need the county to have one. We need one. Why? To serve you. 911 and emergency communications. So the challenge to the county, Chairman Baroni, is let's agree as government bodies for the people, let's agree to binding arbitration, and whatever the binding arbitrator says, we'll do. The town will move to the county, or the county will move to the town, but best, it'll serve you, the people, and we'll do what works for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, look at everybody's brochure. Select the person you believe in your heart is the best qualified to do the job, the person that demonstrates the best potential to move forward. I thank each of my candidates here. I commend them. They step to the plate to do what's right. Thank you.
Well, throwing myself a second time after running the last time was something I really had to think about. It's in my blood. My father was the mayor, and he was an honest person with integrity, and it runs in my blood as well. Maybe this was the purpose for me in even being born. I love Taos. This is my home, and what I do for Taos is for Taoseños. This doesn't have anything to do about me. I'm doing this for you, for all of you, and what I don't know, I'll learn. I'm smart. We all have that capability in our brain, and you know, there's just so many issues in economic development because people have been leaving Taos for generations. I have 4 children. I want them to come home. I want your children to come home. We all have graduates. I have siblings who I would love to be here with me. I'm here by myself, 1 out of 6. The plaza is dying. 30 years ago, it was the heart of Taos. We need to get community things going there again. We need families back in the plaza. We need a lot of different directions to go. There's just so much. I have this vision, and I'll be glad to talk to any of you after this is over. I'd like to see things brought back, cultural revitalization. We can't just depend on tourism and skiing anymore. We all have to pitch in and do our part. We have to bring our ideas forward. We have to be listened to. And Taos is my heart and soul. And I am going to work for the Taoseños. I love this place. And I ask you to vote for me. Early voting starts February 12th. And I encourage you all to go and miss the crowds on March 4th. If any of you would like to volunteer, I'm accepting volunteers. Just get a hold of me after this.
My fellow Taoseños, mis compadres, I am your candidate. And when elected to the town council, I am your employee, and this is your government. And I am in this race because I care about my community just like anyone else cares about their community. But I just have a different vision for it. You know, I want to see a Taos where not only my children and grandchildren can continue to afford to live here, but your children and your grandchildren can continue to afford to live here. Where we have a living wage, not a Walmart wage. You know, where we have a high-speed internet access system and national labs close by, and we have, you know, technology companies starting up here in Taos because they love the quality of life, they love our schools, they love our fresh air, they love the best skiing in the world, they love the best art in the world, they love the best chili, green and red, and Christmas in the world. That's why I'm in this race, you know, for you, and for your future, and for all of our future. Again, you know, I consider myself a bridge between the traditions of our, you know, community and the future of our community. And we're at a point where we can determine our community's future. Do we become a retirement community for millionaires, or do we become a community, or do we stay a community where everyone continues to be welcome? And that is my vision for Taos. You can call me anytime you want. My phone number is 575-779-1478, and I'll give you my card if you want it. Also, you can find out more information on me on Facebook, Fernandez for You, or on my website, fernandezforyou.com. Again, thank you all very much for coming tonight. Thank you to my fellow candidates for showing up, and thank you to the Taos News, the Chamber of Commerce, and Kit Carson Electric Company for hosting this forum. Have a great evening.
Well, I'd really like to thank the Taos News and the Taos Chamber for sponsoring this forum. Very grateful to you. As a social worker, I'm trained to listen and find consensus and agreement between arguing parties. Our town and county face that challenge of gridlock now. This election is about our vision. Our mission to enhance the quality of life for our children and their children. Our goals to attain that vision are to return to fiscal responsibility, the foundation of community investment. Refocus on collaboration with the county, streamlining services, cutting costs by finding consensus. Revitalizing our acequias. The town has trampled over our cultural heritage. We must take it back. We will take it back. Repairing our streets and sidewalks. No more 11-year-olds doing 360s and landing on their heads. When we think about economic development, isn't returning to basics the very first thing we should do? Repairing our streets is the beginning of economic development. This is a tall order. It's going to take time, poco a poco, little by little. Just as we built the herb shop over many decades, this too will take decades. Return, refocus, revitalize, and restore. We all win. I'm asking for your vote, and thank you.
Taoseños, I came to this country when I was 19 years old. I didn't speak any English, so I was faced with many challenges to get to this point here tonight. That taught me to be pretty resourceful, and those talents have applied in Taos, which resulted in building a successful business of Dreamcatcher Real Estate, Dreamcatcher Building Company. I have built several projects, including a beautiful office building down on Gusdorf Road. And my years on the Planning and Zoning Commission have brought me close to all the issues that have been brought up today. I heard the word streamlining. Well, streamlining is actually the idea that I brought up at the Planning Commission that became a law 2 weeks ago at the council meeting. So I have a lot to contribute. When I set out to do something, I'm very goal-oriented. I'll get it done. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm my own man. Anybody who tries to portray me and box me in with something or with somebody, they have a surprise coming, because I'll do what is right for you. Yeah, I don't have a horse in this race other than myself, and you don't want me to come back in 2 years, do you? So I have a good life as it is. This complicates my life, and the only reason why I'm doing it is because I feel I have a lot to contribute, and just look at my record at the Planning and Zoning Commission and what I have done in Taos. And I am a Taoseño. I ask for your vote on or before March 4th. I'm #1 on the ballot. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come. Thank you.
Okay, I know you're dying to watch. This is the moment. Thank you for being such a great audience, and thank you, candidates, for participating tonight. I think, you probably gave voters here and at home a lot to think about. So please join us for the mayoral candidates forum next Wednesday, same time, same place. And remember, early voting starts February 12th, although I understand absentee ballots have already been issued. And also look for our endorsements, the Taos News endorsements, in the February 20th paper. Good evening. We have the room until 8 o'clock, so if you want to meet and greet more, please do. If you have questions, please do. Thank you.